Hey everybody, this is Jesse B. Gilmore, agency transformation coach and founder of Niche in Control, creator of Leverage for Growth.
And I'm Lucas James, founder of Twiz.io, which scaled from $0 to $200,000 a month with my own agency.
We are the hosts of Leverage for Growth podcast agency leverage episodes. We know that in order to scale your agency successfully, there are multiple shifts that need to happen within the founder's mindsets, skill sets, and leadership styles. We are on a mission to interview marketing and PR agency owners on their journey to 6, 7, and 8 figures and leverage the lessons from their journey to save you time, energy, and money in order for you to get your agency to the next level. If you find value in these episodes, watch the case study video to learn more about Leverage for Growth and how we successfully scale agencies quickly at nicheincontrol.com/case study. That's nicheincontrol.com/case study. You are now listening to Leverage for Growth. Hey everybody, this is Jesse P. Gilmore, founder of Niche in Control and creator of Leverage for Growth. Welcome to the Agency Leverage Edition. Today, I am here with Mark Herre, a founder of SEOgame, a peer-to-peer agency that offers performance-based SEO to digital agencies. Thanks for coming to our show today, Mark.
Thank you so much, Jesse, for having me.
Awesome. Can you tell us a little bit about the history and background of SEOgame?
SEOgame goes back 27 years. And that's when I was out of college and wondering what I was going to do. But I was actually totally involved in one of those ISPs, internet service providers, and doing things like SEO before I started. But the company started in 1996. SEOgame was doing everything for everybody. And at that time, we even had to fix fax machines. And that sometimes required me to get under a table and talk to a business owner. And while under the table fixing fax machines and printers, I was able to talk a little bit about getting their website ranking in all the search engines pre-Google. And so I just continued to just focus on that. And for about 17 years, for about 7 years, doing all things considered, web design, everything that an SEO company did back in the early stage.
Cool. And how was it kind of like doing a lot of different things? Did you have to, through trial and error, kind of determine what your services were that you're going to narrow down to, or have you kept a lot of the services aside from the fax machines?
No, good question. I know I didn't want to be in web development, and that just required it. Came with the territory. People didn't have websites back then, but a lot of them did, and those were the companies that I could do really well working with. What I really realized then is that I was already doing what I'm doing now. And I was working for digital marketing agencies. And it took me a while to figure it out that digital marketing agencies would allow me to work at home. And they would allow me to come into the office at times. And for somebody who was able to work at home with a small little family, that was great. The thing about digital marketing agencies then is they were doing the same thing they do now. And that's why I service strictly just digital agencies. And a big pivot happened in my career, figuring out what I needed to do to just focus on the digital marketing agency.
Mm-hmm. What was that kind of like aha moment? You talked about the pivot and being able to focus on serving agencies. Was it kind of like over time, or was it kind of like, oh my gosh, this is like my favorite client to work with? Or talk a little bit about that.
I've always figured that there's companies who are owners of websites who are great to work with, but and realize what I do. And I still have some of those existing clients today, personal injury lawyers and the whatnot that just continue to pay, not because they value being number one. Let's say their keyword, let's say Salt Lake City personal injury lawyer. If you could stay number one with that kind of a keyword leverage, you're going to be, you're going to keep your website, working for you all 24/7. But digital marketing agencies back then would have also relationships with personal injury lawyers, dentists, and stuff, and they constantly had a sales force behind them that I never really could develop internally. And so the digital marketing agencies back then, and the big pivot and the light bulb that went on for me at that time was simply they were extending me an opportunity to do a good job. But let's they already work with me. So let's try you out on this new website. And here are the list of keywords. Or Mark, what are the keywords you should suggest we use? Already, I was into almost 10,000 hours of doing keyword audits back then in the 90s and the early 20 years. However, as I continue to help agencies grow, they continue to extend 30-day websites at me all the time. And so I've actively gone after that performance-based 30-day test drive, where a digital agency says, here's a website, get started, and then I get paid in arrears, but it's on a performance-based, meeting the expectations of the agency, of the website owner that the agency represents, and also dominating and getting the most maximum amount of results based on the top keywords. As I continued to realize I had a scalable model to continue to do this, I went from my 10 websites to almost over 500 that I currently actively work today. So doing the same thing, getting paid equally from 10 to 500 is quite a big exponential ratio of I got the right systems in place and the team, and plus ideally I help the digital marketer grow their business and scale. And that's a great formula to have a vendor for them that does their job. And that's been my mission ever since. That's what I call the pivot is I have one job, make you look good. The digital marketing.
That's awesome. And you've taken specialization and niche, like niching down to both a scalable model, but also a product market fit, which is really, really cool. That's something I can obviously back up, the niche and control being the main thing. Did you always know that you were going to go after kind of like specialization as kind of a thing, like even just from the way beginning stages? Was that kind of part of your strategy, or was it something that kind of happened? Because I know a lot of people that are either listening, they're thinking about niches in some form or trying to determine what it is. Was it part of your strategy to kind of niche down, or was that something that kind of happened organically?
You're going to love this answer, I think, because you and I both are coaches when it comes to getting a business to scale, get ready for them to grow their business and possibly even sell their business down the road. Well, I didn't realize this at all because I just wanted to be the best vendor, the production team behind the rank delivery of the services and 30-day test drives, get all the results, make the client look really good. However, the client was always asking me questions. They were coaching questions. And I just was thrown into a lonely world of coaching where I didn't know, is this what I'm doing? Am I a coach to help this digital marketer turn from a legacy SEO company or digital marketing to a niche, focus on like a laser, like a dental marketing agency, focus like a laser in a field of, let's say, legal marketing or health marketing, or even niching even deeper, like go in with high ticket clients like that do roofing and focus with HVAC, or focus with plumbers, or focus with garage floors, guys who do garage flooring, or mobile tinting companies, right? There's all these different niches of digital marketing. You can just go in and as a coach, I wouldn't call myself a coach, but as a potential just advisor of, hey, let's go into this niche. It's ways that I can help that digital marketer also scale their business by helping them with their lead generation. Not that I'm a great lead generator, but I know a little bit about, helping them grow, because if they're on fire, that just means more, websites that I get to work on that are contracting me to do the job, to get the rankings, to keep them number one and keep that client long-term paying, the digital marketer. And so anyway, did that answer? I'm trying to best answer how a coach coaches without really knowing what a coach. So I love this relationship I have with you, Jesse, to be able to pass on digital marketers that I know that are ready to scale and grow, and they need all of the full professional coaching that they can actually get. I'm just a pseudo coach.
But a coach would then, being able to have them focus and then be able to take on some of their work, which is really beneficial. For anybody that's kind of maybe is starting kind of the agency journey, I mean, you've learned a lot of things over the last 20 some years. If you were to give them any advice, not necessarily like digital agencies that need SEO, but more based around just agency owner, is there anything that you would kind of pass on that you maybe have learned through trial and error? Is it, focus on a niche? Is it focus on one of your, main services? Is it, whatever the kind of comes to you? What are some of those things that you could pass on to the next agency?
Well, as a vendor, I can speak for myself, and I can speak of those who are within my circle of influence of people who I get questions from agencies all the time. Hey, Mark, you're great at performance-based SEO. Do you have a performance-based marketer, which is simply a paid media specialist who's good at performance? Yes, performance-based marketing is the new buzzword. A lot of digital marketers are clamoring, crying for. They're saying even in their profiles in LinkedIn, and they're talking about it in their posts. We're a performance-based marketing agency group. Now, it's easy to just say I'm a performance-based marketer or I'm a performance-based, right? It's easy to say that, but I have worked with people, time-tested people who I could say, yes, you want to work with a performance-based web developer who actually build a website, scale it to not with all the functionality, but at least get it to a presentation where you could then pull the trigger and say, yes, I like this WordPress theme, and I'm going to go with this custom, these functionalities that I believe that if I were to look at my younger self, I wish I had, did the big pivot 20 years ago to be a performance-based SEO white label specialist to digital marketers. I wish at that time I really had kind of figured out who my team was, but it took me almost 20 years to generate a team of performance-based marketers, performance-based, sales funnel lead generation specialists, do great A/B testing, who fails there's so many different performance-based. There's performance-based lead generation. There's performance-based web development. And so I have developed a little bit of a small network. Is it perfect? Sometimes we switch different people because literally sometimes I had a death just recently. My last pay-per-click guy, he died. So just unfortunately, he died with small little children in the hospital, and that's sad and unfortunate. But these are people who have stuck with me for 20 years, constantly trying to improve my circle of performance-based marketers. Exactly.
Yeah. So one of the main kind of pieces of advice would be, first off, surround yourself by people that are more based around results. That's number one. Second thing is, if you find your niche, kind of being able to narrow it down towards your specialty, and then make pivots towards that maybe earlier. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, it just, there are people that will put up will call themselves performance. There are people that realize, I have the discussion with digital marketers every day. And they're in a discovery call wondering if I'm the right connection for them to basically be a vendor that will provide a delivery of rankings, getting websites to pop on the first page of Google search. Sure. And I bring that up only because I call myself performance. I call myself white label. And when I'm meeting with people, I always ask, are you interested in also becoming white label? And it's interesting. Those people who have thought it through are the kind who will say, yeah, actually, Mark, if you could introduce me to some of the digital marketing agencies, I believe I have a strong position to be behind the scenes for a digital agency. And I do understand how the agency works. And then there's others who are just thinking about it for the very first time or have never thought about it. But I'm constantly building my network of the people who say I'm a strong advocate for digital marketing agencies. I do white label. I am a performance-based marketer. And those are the people that get on my list of, who I refer to. And then I have to test them out. So it's not like, I'm going to refer them right away. I'm going to dig a little deeper, but I try and keep my list pretty strong, performance-based.
Cool. Awesome. And for anybody that's listening, either agencies or not, what's the best way for people to get in touch with you or Do you have any offers for them that they could take advantage of?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you can easily get a hold of me, Mark Herre SEOgame. Either way, if you search both my personal name or SEOgame, you're going to find my LinkedIn profile. There's where we can make a connection and possibly do a one-to-one where we can discuss ways that performance marketing might work for you as a digital marketer. That's I'm going to just leave it at that, simple and sweet.
Cool. And then for anybody that's listening, I will include all the links to Mark, including the LinkedIn, in the show notes. And Mark, I just want to thank you very much for being on the show today.
Yes, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Agency owners, if you want to transform your agency to sustain and grow without your direct involvement, where you can stop working in the business and switch to working on the business, where you can regain control of your time, delegate effectively, get paid what you're worth, and have your team run the day-to-day, go to nicheincontrol.com/case study right now to learn more about Leverage for Growth. You can book a free strategy session with us to look at your systems, understand what needs to be done in order for you to scale, and get a free strategic plan for the next year to live the life of entrepreneurship that you've always dreamed about. Go to nicheincontrol.com/case study. That is nicheincontrol.com/case study now.